When we talk about distance learning or remote learning, there are four elements that we need to keep in mind. Number one element is the web conferencing tool, which you have to be choosing and you have to be practicing and you have to be using to deliver your lessons live if that is the requirement from your school and from the authorities. Well, that is the number one part. This number two aspect that we need to keep in mind is the storage facility or the remote storage where you store your file, you store your learning material, you store the content, and you also have the opportunity of sharing the learning content with your students and parents. The third aspect that we need to keep in mind is the learning management system. Are you following a learning management system? Is your school following a learning management system? And with that, are your parents and students able to access the learning material and able to respond and submit their assignments? And the fourth aspect that we need to keep in mind is the assessment. How are we going to carry out the assessment for learning and assessment of learning in these circumstances when your students are not in front of you, when they're not in the classrooms, when you're not able to walk around the classroom and monitor your students and assess their learning? So what are the tools that are available? So these are the four elements that we need to keep in mind. And in this video, I'm going to go through very briefly one by one. Let's get into the video now. What is going on? My name is Ramesh. Welcome to another video on Mudgal's Musings, a channel dedicated to increasing your productivity. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing because I keep posting one interesting video every single week to help you increase your productivity. And don't forget to hit that bell button so that you don't miss out anything exciting on this channel and you get notified every time I upload a new video. Web conferencing or video conferencing is not a new concept. It has been in existence ever since the internet has come to occupy a bigger role in our lives and in our day-to-day lives, especially being used by the corporate world. People located in different regions, in different countries, in different parts and different time zones, they keep making use of the web conferencing tools. And two of the most commonly used tools that I can think of right now is the Zoom and the WebEx. And of course, there has been, the good old Skype tool also. Even Google has come out with Google Hangouts Meet. And I'm sure even Microsoft Teams has some kind of web conferencing tools already embedded into its platform. So there are a variety of web conferencing tools available. Zoom, of course, has been free for quite some time, but of course, it may have some limitations. Now, when we talk about WebEx, also WebEx and Zoom and most of these platforms have made their platforms, their services, their products free for the countries which have been affected by the coronavirus and the ones which are actually heading towards launching the online learning, launching the virtual classroom modules. So I've provided the link for these resources as to how you can actually log on to their website, create an account and start making use of them. There are tons of videos already available on YouTube. There are tutorials which are going to give you heads up, which are going to take you step by step as to how you can set up your calls and how you can start interacting, how you can schedule calls, what all different features are there and what controls you can exercise over there during the web conferencing or during a live lesson delivery when your students are able to attend these lessons remotely by sitting at their homes. The second aspect of distance learning is that you need to have an account on a remote storage facility such as a Google Drive or OneDrive or Dropbox or iCloud or any other storage facility wherein you can store your learning material, the material which you want your students to access it. It could be in the form of a video, it could be in the form of a worksheet, it could be in the form of a PDF document, an assignment which is a Word document, any material for that matter which you can securely, safely store in a remote location on the web, on cloud, and you can share that material with your students. So this also is nothing new. Most of the teachers are already using. I'm sure everybody is familiar with the Google Drive and the OneDrive. and depending on which platform your school is using, which enterprise account they have. In fact, even if there is no enterprise account, individually also people can create their accounts with the Microsoft OneDrive as well as with Google Drive. And from that Google Drive, of course, there is going to be a bit of a limitation in terms of the storage. It could be just about 10 GB or 15 GB and not beyond that. But yes, even that facility is available, and you will be able to store your material, prepare all material that you have prepared, store it up there, and I'm sure you're already doing it. But of course, this is the right time for us to kind of intensify our usage of these remote storage facilities. The third aspect, which is going to be very handy and very helpful in delivering the lesson online and remotely to your students, is to have an LMS or learning management system. Now, if your school is not already part of a well-structured learning management system, that shouldn't stop you from getting an account with one of the free LMSs. The best first thing that comes to my mind is the Google Classroom. It's all you need to have is to have a Gmail account, and with that Gmail account you will be able to access all the Google products, including the Google Classroom. It's a simple and easy to learn kind of a LMS, which is very, very handy when you want to have limited number of students, limited number of classes, and you want to share your content, you want to assign certain things. Students can learn at their own pace, anytime, anywhere. Now, the second one that you can think of is, which again is free, is the Edmodo. Edmodo again is another very useful LMS. And the third that you can think of is the Seesaw. Seesaw also is a beautiful LMS which has got many features for learning. In fact, its creative products or creative options are very, very useful, absolutely interesting for students, and it generates a lot of interest and excitement among students, especially when they can actually capture their using their smartphone or using their tablet. They are able to capture their work, they can annotate and they can submit it with voiceover or comments and things like that. Then you also have Microsoft Teams, which is actually essentially for a collaborative tool, but this could actually be transformed into a learning management system also in a bigger ecosystem. Of course, you might require some amount of support from an expert to establish this infrastructure for your school. But yes, Microsoft Teams also is a very, very useful platform which can be used as a learning management system. The fourth and the final important aspect of virtual learning or remote learning or distance learning is the ability of a teacher to assess the learning of the students, which means we are talking about assessment here. Well, assessment is equally important because whether the students are coming to school or whether they are learning from home, we still need to assess for learning, and we also need to assess of the learning, how much the students have learned, whether the concepts are clear, whether they are acquiring the skills as per the learning outcomes of the curriculum. So there are plenty of assessment tools available, quite a few of them free. The first thing you can think of is the Google Forms itself. It gives you the opportunity, or it has options for multiple choice questions or single word questions or short answer type questions, long answer type questions. Variety of questions can be asked on Google Form, which is very, very easily integrated into. It's just a matter of a link. Once you create your Google Form, a link is generated, and with that link you can share it on any kind of a communication platform with your students, which they can easily access. The second one that I can think of is the Kahoot. I'm sure Kahoot, everybody is pretty well versed with Kahoot already. It just generates one code. Once you created a Kahoot, share that code with your students. By making use of that code, your students will be able to access the questions or the quiz that you have created. Then there is Quizzes, and then there is Quizlet, and a variety of other tools. Quiz tools are also available. Most of them are free, easy to use and easy to learn from the point of view of the person who's creating it, as well as from the point of view of the person who's responding to these quizzes. They are pretty user friendly, and most of these are also accessible on all kinds of devices, be it the laptop or desktop or a tablet or a smartphone. That's all on Mudgal's Musings this week. Thanks for watching this video. Like it if you like it, and do share the video among your friends and acquaintances just in case they might also be interested in watching such video. Question of the day. Do you have any suggestions for teachers like you and I that will be useful to us? If that is the case, please do mention your suggestions in the comments below. Till I see you next time, have a wonderful time ahead. Stay happy, stay healthy, do protect yourselves.